YouTubers, this is Thermal Overload here, just wanting to show people my technique for electro etching using electrolysis, a battery charger and salt and vinegar solution to etch onto steel. In this instance, I'm etching onto a scrap piece of O1 tool steel that I've got used for making knives. You can use any metal you want. So the first stage, I just have to attach that wire there onto the back of the piece. If you imagine that, it could be a knife blade or anything at all that you want to etch. So I just stick that down with some duct tape, as you can see here, and the idea is to cover up everywhere that you don't want to etch, so that you don't eat it away when it's in the bath. So I clean the surface with some methylated spirits. Then I'm going to spray it with spray ink. This is also known as stencil ink, and it's really fast drying and quite easy to clean back off the metal later on. So that's why I use it, and it's turned out to be pretty effective so far. So a couple of decent sort of coats onto the metal to give it a good layer. That only takes a couple of minutes to dry. And in the meantime, I go over and sort out the laser. So when you can see in black, and that wyvern is what will be etched away eventually. So you might need to invert your image or something if you're doing it this way. So I've got a Chinese laser cutter, and that works quite well. What I've done there is I've used an engraving setting, so that darker paint is where it's run, and then you clean that off just with a bit of steel wool, that's a bit of wet steel wool, and that comes off. You can see the bare metal now. So now I've got it sitting in the salt and vinegar bath, and the positive is on the metal to be etched, and the negative is on that piece of scrap steel I've got there. So turn on the battery charger or any other DC supply you've got. It might be a car battery or any sort of power supply, it doesn't matter. And I let it run for a couple of minutes, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. The longer you leave it in, the deeper the etch. It's a bit of trial and error, but it seems to work quite easily. So after about 5 or 6 minutes, you can see here, a slightly darker grey colour. So that area has been eaten away by the etching. And now I'm going to clean off the blue ink with steel wool and methylated spirits. It cleans up fairly easily. So after it's been cleaned up, you can see there how it's now been etched. That's a reasonably deep etch. It's quite good, and it's still fine. It's still kept the detail, which is what I like. And so now that's ready to go. So anyway, I hope it's been helpful. Apologies for the wobbly camera work. I just did it on my phone. Thanks for watching.